All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing all right, but I don't think you're going through the room. I don't see any video there. You're not screen
Oh,
sharing.
yes. Let me turn on my video for the room here, guys.
And you're going room audio too.
Yep.
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. All right, guys, just trying to get the video over. I know our
Hang on
host our
just.
hosting site had some funky stuff going on this morning. So if you had a hard time logging in, that's probably what's going on. Some kind of issues with the service. You might have got an error this morning trying to get into the room. So we'll try to see if we can get the screen to share here. It's not working right this second. I'm afraid to restart the browser and not get back into the room. So, but I'm gonna have to do it, guys. So I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, perfect. Here we go. Okay, you guys should be able to hear us now and see us as well in the chat room. I
There
will
we go.
increase my gain here a little bit for you guys. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. I think it's a
Took
little
my
bit on the
gain
low.
down just a little bit, so let me know if you guys can hear me all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So hopefully that's not clipping too much, guys, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We got to fine tune these gains a little bit because we are trying a new software. So we're seeing how the levels work out. So hopefully you guys can hear us okay this morning. So as we're saying, good morning, guys. Welcome to the pre-market show. We have a bit of a decent gappers list today. It's funny, me and Norm were talking before the show before in the past, we will look at this list and we will say, man, we have a really busy day. But now it has become the norm that this type of list is really it's acceptable now. It's like this is an easy day now when we look at this and the list is not going down, 15, 20 plus on each side. So
Yeah.
pretty decent day. We have looked through some of these. There's not a lot of great stuff on here, but we will get through all of them and see what we can pick out that we can have to watch this morning. Overall, for the most part, let's get over to the market to see what we have going on there. Big day, big rally day yesterday. Noam, fill us in on what took place yesterday and what we can expect for the rest of this week.
Yeah, as I mentioned a couple of times during the broadcast yesterday, you had Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin testifying on Capitol Hill at noon Eastern, and they pretty much they said the economy is worrisome and we're unsure about the future, but the Fed and the Treasury and the entire federal government is here to do whatever it takes to make sure that this doesn't really kill the economy. So I think those reassurances helped quite a bit. It was pretty strong, closed, in that last hour, got a drive toward the end of the day. And I'm not surprised to see futures pull back a little bit this morning. Yesterday was the end of the second quarter, best second quarter in a very long time, percentage gain wise in the market. So I think it was the best gain in the S&P since 1987. So and different indices had different milestones, obviously. But that having been said, wasn't surprised a little bit when I woke up this morning to see futures down a bit. SPY just literally as I'm talking went green, so we're essentially flat up. Almost it's heading towards 0.1%. We had ADP employment numbers for last month come out. They came in at around 2.3 million increase, which was not quite the 3 million expected, but far better than we had the month before. So, things are on the right track. Analysts having a hard time. The numbers and everything else going on are so extreme right now. you have to expect analyst expectations to be off more than they usually would be. So we had that. Got the market manufacturing index at 9:45, ISM manufacturing 10 a.m., construction spending 10 a.m., FOMC minutes. The minutes from the last meeting 2 weeks ago will be released at 2 p.m. straight up. And then also, since the month just ended, we'll start getting vehicle sales numbers from various companies coming out. Right now, just looking at all the different sectors, everything is fairly red. So it's kind of interesting. You got technology down by 1/3%, energy down by 0.4, financials down by 0.4. So it's interesting to see the SPY essentially flat, but we'll see how the day goes. I would expect, the market is closed on Friday for the U.S. Independence Day on Saturday. Today is Canada Day. We have a number of Canadian members, so thank you, or happy Canada Day for that. I hope you have a great day. But, I'm a little bit surprised. We might see a little bit lighter trading, unless, of course, there's some kind of crazy macro catalyst that gets injected into this. So.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Thank you for that. So let's get into it, guys. Let's go into this gappers list. Let's see what we have here. Let's start over first by deleting what we have here on our watch from yesterday. So we'll move this and let's make some room here in our watch list area. And let's start with what's gapping down this morning. We have CARV. Now this is one that has been extremely active. It is a low flow stock, guys, sitting at 3.7. For the most part, yesterday it's just sold down. So again, popped up here and just gave it all back into the market open. Again, beautiful pre-market action towards the upside, but could not hold anything and not even find any kind of support. As you see some of these levels that we had here, it kept hitting every single one of these levels, trying to find somewhat something to grab on. You did get a little pop here, but for the most part, just sold off the entire day. And usually these type of stocks are pretty scary. So sometimes people get in the pre-market, they have a good move and they hold through this pullback here and it could be disastrous. So again, just be careful with trading this one. Today, as you can see, it has done this before in the past where it gaps up and it just sells down. I'm not sure what kind of continuation you're going to get today, if it's going to have any strength to go higher. There is no shares for short on this one, so I'm not even going to watch it today. I don't think we're going to get anything good out of it. I could be wrong, but for the most part, I'm going to take my chances not to put this one on our list today. Here we have FedEx. Obviously, earnings last night on FedEx. We were watching this one in the pre-market. I'm sorry, not in the pre-market, in the close yesterday here in the chat room. So checking out for earnings, just completely killed it here. Now, what are the numbers on FedEx yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, they had a good quarter, no doubt. How could you think they weren't really? I'll say part of the thing here is that FedEx has been pretty beaten down over the last year. They had the issue with Amazon where their service was so bad. Oh, when was that? It was around Christmas or just before Christmas, I believe, that Amazon actually quit letting their third-party sellers use FedEx as an option for shipping. So they seem to have rebounded a long way from there. Everybody working at home, being at home, or can't go out to shopping malls, ordering things they need has boosted FedEx, and they just had a blockbuster quarter. So they're up 11.8% at the moment. They got an upgrade out of JP Morgan with a new price target. They went from neutral to overweight and increased their price target to 188 from 145. So firing on all cylinders at the time being, for the time being at least.
Yep, absolutely. So big pop yesterday right after the close. The earnings came out. We were hitting them here in our Bank Single Squawk, and you can see here how nice this thing has ripped higher and looking pretty strong this morning, up 11.6. So definitely on our list today with a good catalyst behind it. Hopefully we can get some good opportunities there. Here's BYND. Now BYND, it was interesting yesterday as well, and this morning so far looking pretty good also. A nice big pop here of 9.1. So 401,000. They didn't have earnings yesterday because we would have talked about it. But what's causing this pop this morning?
Yeah, so they are entering the Chinese market and going into grocery stores in China. So, yeah.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on it. The last couple of weeks, guys, this thing has been dropping down here. Came down all the way to this 125. A bit of a bounce here. Yesterday kind of consolidated. Now we're getting a nice pop here, so definitely worth keeping an eye on. BYND in play this morning. Here's a UAL. UAL trading nicely this morning. Some good volume. 1.2 million shares traded already. They are up 3.6 so far, so looking pretty good and pretty decent here. So United definitely in play. I know there's some news of their flight. Someone mentioned it here in the chat room as well. No, I'm not sure if you heard the same.
Yeah, they're adding roughly 25,000 flights to their schedule starting in August.
Okay, perfect.
So getting a little bit closer back to normal.
Gotcha. So I definitely keep an eye on this one, guys. I love the daily as well. We've been consolidating here. Possible breakout with that type of catalyst. I am sure some of these other airlines are going to start showing up here. Kind of piggyback sympathy move on United's numbers here, because obviously, if that picks up, other airlines should see some of that volume as well. So United on our list, and we'll look out for any other airlines that pop up here. I already see JetBlue's coming in here, getting a little bit active, but JetBlue seems to be the one that doesn't trade as clean as the other ones. Delta, even Save, they all trade a lot better than JetBlue for the most part, but based on what I have seen. Here we have let's go to Plug first. So here we have Plug, guys. Again, this one continues just to rip higher, make new recent highs at least. Yesterday had a nice big drop, and it just kind of got really choppy in this area. I did keep this one on watch, but again, just didn't see anything all that great yesterday. Today they're up 3%. Norm, overall news on Plug was causing this beautiful rally here.
I'm not seeing anything really fresh this morning, no.
Okay.
I mean, they have stuff that we've talked about before, some acquisitions and things like that, but I'm not seeing anything fresh as of this morning.
Yeah. So again, guys, a stock that doesn't trade all that well, I'm going to put it down as a possible for now. If we don't find anything better, we'll move it up. But for the most part, let's keep it as a possible for the moment. DKNG here. This one has been seeing some pretty good activity. A little bit choppy, though, at the open. So you got to be careful on this one. Right now, we have 147. It is up 2.9. Their daily kind of has back to this area of support that we had recently here. You can see a nice double top on the daily. Well, not that clean, but you can see a nice double top here, giving back some and just kind of consolidating over the last 2 days at least. So I'm not sure if there's any fresh news on this one, Norm, but for the most part, pre-market is not looking all that great neither.
The only thing I'm seeing here is analyst initiation of a overweight rating with a $52 price target. That's all I see that's fresh for the morning.
Okay. All right. So we'll throw DKNG down here next to Plug for now. Let's look at SPCE. Now, SPCE yesterday, as we were watching in the chat room towards the power hour here, they did have some news broke out here of some possible, I forgot that it was funding or something. It was some positive news broke out on them over the audio yesterday. You can see here it popped up pretty nice after that. It is holding up 2.6 this morning. We do have 268, but the move really started happening into the close yesterday. You can see it right on here when it was announced on Squawk Audio. So their daily has been very choppy, guys. We know this stock can be very explosive. We've seen it do some really good stuff before, but man, look at just the way this daily has been. I mean, this is just all over the place. So not sure if today could be the difference maker. Obviously, yesterday traded very well, as you can see here, and the entire day was very clean. Hopefully, we can get some of that continuation today. So at SPCE here. SPCE, here we go. Next on the list, all right, we looked at JetBlue. I see American Airlines coming into the mix here now, really taking off with some good volume right now, 1.5 million and popping nicely here, getting to the top of this consolidation over on the couple of days they've been just stuck in this consolidation. The high of this range right at the moment is being tested right now by American Airlines. So I like what I'm seeing there. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. And Norm, just to confirm, this is still on the United news, not independent news for American Airlines, correct?
I have not seen anything on American, but I have not specifically pulled it up. So my guess is it's the same. I'm not seeing anything fresh as of this morning.
Yeah, nice big pop for them just to follow on some piggyback on some news on some other airlines. So good stuff for them there. Let's see what's gapping down, guys. So INO, obviously one that has been so active, so fun to watch. I mean, this thing has been just incredible. So at the moment, we're dropping down 11.2, 1.6 million shares traded there. Looks like we're testing some of these support areas. We lost the big one at 27. We held this for some time here, and now we're giving some back and testing this low of yesterday. So let's put INO here, guys. I think this one is definitely in play. Not an easy stock to trade, but the volume is starting to die down a little bit. For the most part, you're not seeing all these crazy moves that we saw the last couple of days right at the open. So it seems to be a little bit more easy to manage. The key on this type of stock, guys, is to watch the number of shares, right? Watch how many shares you take. Make sure you're not taking too much and risking too much in a stock like this one that can move quite a bit on you. So we'll keep an eye on it, guys. Very active this morning, 1.6 down nicely here, almost 12%. DENN, so Den, and this is Denny's. They're down 10% this morning, 240,000 shares traded.
Secondary, I believe.
Secondary, okay. I was gonna say, man, that this pre-market is not looking pretty at all, even with that volume of 240. So so again, we'll skip on this one for now. Here's TA. Is this a travel centers? Also not the best pre-market action. Their daily looks a little bit funky here. Are these guys foreign or no?
One? TA? No.
TA?
Oh, this is TA Travel Stops.
Okay.
This is a secondary offering as well, though.
Okay, all right, so we'll skip on this one, guys. WKHS, another one that has been ripping here, guys. Again, going back early June, this thing was over at $3, now sitting at $17, $16. So again, has been very active over the last couple of days. The daily's a little extended, so we're seeing some kind of a pullback here this morning, down 6.6. The only red day after it broke out of this $10 mark here. Great area of resistance. We spoke about that yesterday. A beautiful pop here, so giving some back. So the key here, is it going to hold this pre-market lows and retest this previous day close in 17 and high of the pre-market, or are we heading back down here towards even 14 and 15 price targets? So definitely active, guys, worth watching. It is not a low flow stock, but you want to treat it like one because it is a stock that can move very aggressive. So be careful on how you manage your number of shares on this one as well. So 1.3 million shares, down 6.3, definitely worth watching on our list. Here's SHLL. So SHLL also doesn't have a great pre-market. We've seen better pre-market activity from this company. Now this is one that, as we mentioned, is a shell company, not really been trading, not really been watching it. But for those that do like this type of company, if you've been watching this ticker, and if you have been able to trade it successfully, definitely keep it on watch. But I'm going to skip on it. What I do like about it, though, if it was not a shell company, is that the fact that you're losing this area here, and you have a lot of room to run here. If we can lose this level of 26.10, the low of the pre-market right now, you have some room here to try to get to some moving averages towards the bottom here, if you do have shares for sure on this one. XLRN, let's take a look at this one. This is down 3.5, 110,000 at the moment. Not the best pre-market action, guys, so I'm not sure what kind of news we have on this one. But the pre-market is pretty crappy at the moment. Also, what I'm noticing is very light on the volume as well, guys. And it's scary to trade, not scary, but it's difficult to trade stocks that have no volume. You could be sitting there forever waiting on a move that might never come.
I think this is on a secondary as well.
Secondary.
At least that's the latest news I see, and I think it's just a continuation from yesterday when that was announced.
Gotcha. So again, not the best trading stocks, guys. I'm gonna skip on this one. Let's look at M. This is Macy's. So Macy's right now down 2.8, almost 1 million shares traded at the moment. Very choppy pre-market action, but this is typical for Macy's. This is what you're going to get. Do we have any activity on Macy's? This is a lot of volume for them in the pre-market.
They were. I think they might have had earnings. They did, and they announced that. I missed this one. I'm not a big fan of Macy's, so it's not something I follow closely. But they got pretty well hammered on their earnings in first quarter. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it neither, guys. The one time I traded, I got chopped up so badly on it. And actually more than one time. A few times I traded, it hasn't been great. Maybe I had a couple of winners on it, but for the most part, it's a very choppy stock, very difficult to trade. So I usually stay away from it. So right now, kind of heading back into the area where you have a lot of levels here, so a lot of congestion. Not sure we can expect out of Macy's. We'll keep it here as a possible. If we could get a good breakout on it, if we get some momentum, some direction on it, it could be tradable. You know, if we head back up here towards the pre-market highs and we got some room to run here, you know, but we need some really heavy news, and I'm not seeing that right now in the pre-market. Here's GIS, another one that is a horrible daily, guys. Doesn't trade very well for the most part. We've seen this one before here. Right now, volume is 116. We'll keep it as a possible. See if there's anything good that comes out of it before we get to 930. But for the most part, this stock is not one that that's going to make our list when we have some other stuff like FedEx, BYD, United, even Space at this point will be better than GIS. All right, Norm, what do you like this morning so far? I know it's not the best morning, as you can see.
Not a damn thing, brother. I'm sure I'll find something. INO I might watch. I mentioned that yesterday in the pre-market. It actually ended up being my trade that for the last several mornings it had traded down, and it sold off the open, and I was just waiting for that squeeze to start. And I was waiting for that squeeze, and finally it was I think it was about 10 minutes in, and I saw it taking shape and took it and got like $2.5 out of the move on that. So that was a nice one. I'll keep an eye on INO just because it's been trading so well. This doesn't look like it's setting up for that, but you never know. FedEx, I might keep an eye on. It generally can be fairly choppy. It's nicey. But with the news, the kind of shift in news flow and the catalyst on that, UAL, but I'm not seeing a whole lot else. So let's see what else we got.
Okay, you got it, man.
Let's see
take a
what
look
the room
at
has.
yeah, see what the room has, guys. Let's start over with you guys got a lot here. Let's see. I'm gonna start with Casey here. So just I'm gonna start with Casey. QLGN. All right, let's see what we have here. So QLGN, this one here, low flow stock. Yeah, very active right now, guys. 3.5. Let's put it down here in the low flow team. Again, low flows are great if you know how to trade them. That's the key thing here, guys. You have to know how to trade these stocks. They create a lot of opportunities, a whole different style of trading, and the experience that you need to trade these stocks is a little bit higher, and the learning curve is a little bit longer. So again, nothing against low flows. Just be mindful of that, right? Especially if you're starting out. We're always going to set that reminder because we've seen so many times where new traders come in, they do great trading MU, trading United, trading FedEx, and then they come and they trade this low flow stock and they give so much back, right? And then once you give a certain amount back, your emotions trigger, and once the emotions trigger, you start doing some serious mistakes that can put you in a bad situation. So completely avoid that. We are talking from experience because we've done it here. So learn from those mistakes that we have made. So QLGN, we'll keep it on here, guys. Let's go down. Next we have Zen is giving us BA. BA very active today. Wow, 810. BA seems to be pretty active these mornings. I know they had news a couple of days ago. Right now they are only down 0.5%. They were down a lot more. Have bounced back here nicely. The daily's a little bit. We're getting to a consolidation area here, right back to the previous day close. It looks like it wants to go green with the type of volume we're seeing from 8 o'clock all the way to now. Right, the volume has increased drastically here. So I love what I'm seeing on BA. Let's keep an eye on this one. Let's head down to QLGN. We saw that one already. Steve V is giving us BNTX right now. Yeah, it's starting to get going. We've seen some volume here. Somebody dropped 44,000 shares here. That's good. 78,000 for the most part. But this is not a great pre-market right now. We need more information on this. So let's hold off for now. Maybe some news is breaking out now. That's where we're seeing the volume spike. But we need a lot more on this one. So let's see what happens. Trading got halted already. Maybe some news coming out because it shouldn't get halted at this point. So we'll come back to this one, guys.
Yeah, that would be a news halt if they're halted.
So we'll put it on here. Let's see what kind of news is coming out in BNTX. Obviously, you can see something's happening here. Some people are making some trades already. Let's head down over to who we have here next. Alexander, YRCW. All right, so YRCW Worldwide, I believe this is a freight company because I used to work with these guys, not with them directly, but as a vendor from my last previous life. So here, guys, this one is very active this morning. I wonder if they're moving based on just FedEx news overall, or do they have their own news this morning? Not sure what's causing this, but they're up 98%, which is quite a bit. And let me check the float on this one, guys, just to see what we're dealing with here. They're not a small company. If it's the company I'm thinking of,
The U.S. is to loan them $700 million for a 30% stake. So I guess it's like the U.S. government's investing in them as an
Okay,
venture.
all right.
I guess the U.S. government's a venture capitalist now. This is interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting what they're doing now.
The thing is, I think that they handle a lot of military stuff, so that's what might make sense in that.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
They would
Yeah.
have logistical problems if they had if they went under.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, we used them for a lot of special stuff that FedEx and UPS didn't want to do because obviously they had the volume. So we go with those guys to get those special deliveries. So that makes sense. All right, let's see what we have. We'll keep it on here, guys, as a possible right now, and we'll see what we can get out of it. Let's head down.
I don't know if there's anything you can do, Carlos, but your camera's frozen.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to reset it once you go to announcements, but right now I'll leave it like that because I'm not sure what's causing it. Let's head down to to SPCE. We have that one has news, so that's on there already. All right, let's take a look at our YouTube friends. What do we have here, guys? Tesla. I will look at it, but please don't spam the chat like that. But I will take a look at it because I like Tesla. Tesla here, guys. Wow, nice rip yesterday. I missed that rip yesterday. How did that trade? Let's go back here. Man, look at the open on Tesla yesterday. Just insane, guys. So again, nice big pop here. Tesla is unbelievable. A couple of months ago, not weeks, months ago, you would never think Tesla would be trading at a 1077. And look at this now. So up right now, well, not even up. It's just break even at this point. 136,000. Very big move yesterday. Could be extended today for a possible continuation or a drop. Who knows? It can go either way. But Tesla's getting to the point now that's becoming way, way too expensive for me to deal with at this point. So again, if you like this type of pricing stock, I liked it when it was at 700 here or lower. Now it's getting to the Amazon price target situation. So I'm going to skip on this one for right now. But again, big day yesterday for them. You can see a possible continuation coming up today. TT, first let's look at a PZZA.
Before you hop into that, let me just say, because we're getting a lot of questions in the YouTube chat.
Sure.
Some people are having a hard time getting in. Some of our team had a hard time getting into the room this morning onto the website. It seems like there's some sort of a regional problem, BBT specific, but depending on where you're coming in from. A lot of it seemed like it was East Coast people. Thor, Carlos, you had an issue getting in.
Yes.
So I think Eamon might have as well. So keep trying because they all eventually made it in.
Yep. Just once it's loading, guys, as it's loading, just leave it. And then it'll slowly load or try to refresh it a couple of times. Again, it's a pain, but you will get in. All right, guys, so PZZA here. This one not doing much right now, guys. No volume, so I'm going to skip on this one. TTO, let's take a look at this. Oops, I missed an O there. TTOO. Looking at this one, guys, more of a penny stock. So I'm not really interested in trading these penny stocks under $5, under $1. Just got out of $1 a couple of weeks ago. Again, just not going to be involved in this one. So much stuff can be happening here, and it's very difficult to trade. And most importantly, it's very difficult to read the price action, right? So that's key. You have to be able to read the price action. And I noticed on these penny stocks and stocks that just are breaking out of $1, that could be a tough thing to do. STZ. This one here this morning, it has not much volume, only 24. I see what you're looking at. It is up 2.6. Possible breakout here above these moving averages.
They're difficult to trade from my experience, at least.
Yeah, the ticker sounds familiar. I don't think I have ever traded it.
Constellation. Constellation.
Oh, yeah, we have looked at this before.
Liquor distributor.
Yep. So again, and right now, very light on volume, guys. So just be careful here on this one. Let's take a look at DKNG. We'll look at that one in a little bit more detail. PFE. Let's see what Mike has for us here this morning. PFE. This one is ripping. So some PFE, some news coming out here on PFE, or some kind of stuff is happening on Pfizer here. For the most part, up 5% now. Volume just pouring in at the moment. We'll definitely keep an eye on this one. Let's bring it up here. And if anybody has any news, throw it out there.
They just released some positive data on their phase 1/2 COVID vaccine trials. So,
okay. Excellent. Okay, good. We'll keep an eye on this one, guys. Definitely in play now with some news behind it. Let's take a look at what else we have. One more, guys.
I think
mRNA.
that's probably what's popping the entire market so hard in the last few minutes.
Okay, that makes sense. mRNA, guys, not a whole lot of volume, so I'll skip on this one. You need a lot of volume for mRNA. We need to see something very exciting out of that. And as you can see, the spot here, it is ripping, guys. Again, news coming out now. We're going green. We were red for the most part of between 6:30 and what seems to be 8:45. So nice comeback here. We're up almost a little bit shy of one half a percent. So we'll see where this news leads us in a couple of minutes. With that said, let's go to the market pulse and we'll come back and do some fine tuning of this watch list.
Or announcements.
Announcements.
Guys, tonight, Success Webinar. It's been a crazy morning, man. Success Webinar, Eamon talking about reversals. He takes over the mic in the room at noon Eastern. So he is perfect reversal time. He's become just an extraordinary reversal trader. He'll be talking about that tonight at 5 p.m. Note the special time, 5 p.m. in the webinar room. Just got word like 3 minutes before we came on that next week's Success Webinar with Dr. Reed, he had to postpone. He had something come up. So that's going to be postponed to August. We don't yet have a person to fill that slot, but we will put something up for next week, and we'll let you know as soon as possible what that's going to be. Mike had his Module 6 Importance of a Healthy Lifestyle webinar last night for psychology, so he will be that will be posted to watch on demand pretty soon, probably today or tomorrow. If you're watching us on YouTube and would like to try out the chat room, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24 and get a discount off the normal $39 price for that. 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. It includes the onboarding class Monday night. So if you're considering trying out BBT, that's a good way to do it, save a few bucks. And then also, if you're interested in becoming a lifetime member, you can use the promo code INDEPENDENCE40. Either upgrading your membership or becoming a new member, use the promo code INDEPENDENCE40 for 40% off the single payment lifetime membership. If you're a fan of podcasts, search Talk with Traders on your favorite podcast platform and find the Bear Bull Traders podcast. We are releasing new podcasts on a continual basis. And then also Monday through Thursday, Mike, Peter, and Brian are doing their their closing bell show, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. That's live streamed on YouTube. 2 other announcements that aren't here, guys. On Monday, the One Best Trader competition starts. We sponsor that with DAS. Begins Monday. If you use the promo code BBT25, you'll get $50 off your registration fee, and you can start once you register. You can start simulator trading immediately. You don't have to wait till Monday to start. So you can do it today, get it all set up, and then hit the ground running on the 6th. Yes, simulator. Speaking of simulator, so we put together some homework assignments, and if you go to the trading tab at the top of the room and then go down to the simulator option, you'll hop over to that, scroll to the bottom of that page, and each week we are putting together a list of trades. So you can go use the DAS replay feature or any platform. Somebody asked if you had to have DAS to do this, and no, absolutely not. You can use any trading platform, and then it'll talk about the date, the time, what to look for, and how to trade it. So you can practice these homework assignments each week. If you have any platform with a replay feature like Thinkorswim or DAS Replay. So there's that. One other really important announcement, guys, and it's kind of last minute. As everybody knows, Andrew was going to Alberta, and he had to cancel because he wasn't feeling well on Friday. Well, he's currently driving there right now. So he will not be trading the open this morning because unfortunately, he can't find a place to trade for the open this morning. We're going to have Thor and Brian instead. But Andrew is having a meetup. I believe it's at noon, and it's today. So if you'd like to go, click the link in the forum with ABL and RSVP. And he's going to be in Banff. So I hope you guys have a great time. That's all I got.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm, for that. So I think we have to redo our gappers list, Norm. Check this out. We have a, a lot more
Yeah,
on
the
here
whole thing.
this morning. So, but yeah, definitely
Excuse me.
SPY is creating some movement here, guys, as you
We
can
jinxed
see.
ourselves when we talked about how easy of a gappers list it was.
We
But
sure did.
here's what I'll say on this. I think like I mentioned, I think the vast majority of this is that Pfizer news that broke a few minutes ago, and it's just an overall macro change. So a lot of this stuff that's just popped up isn't moving on its own catalyst. It's really spurred by Pfizer because you've got Pfizer popping with the vaccine news. You've got and that's buoying a lot of these travel and gaming stocks, casinos, stuff like that. That's on here. That's popping those, and then also the Reds increased, but those are all the the vaccine competitors: Moderna, VXRT, Invax. So anyway, and INO's taking a leg lower on that news as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely. And it seems like all these travel companies again, they're just following. We haven't seen besides United and some other ones specific on to cruise lines. We haven't seen anything significant to those airlines. It's just the market goes up, they're going to follow. It goes down, they're going to follow because it's like just like you mentioned, just the overall movement on the
With the
market.
exception of that UAL news of increasing
Right.
25,000 flights in August.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the only travel specific thing I've really seen of importance this morning. So
Absolutely. And then we got something like FedEx, which has its own news, and it was strong already. This type of
yep.
movement with the SPY, it's just going to fuel that, right? So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on something like this one this morning. So right now, hitting some good highs right now, 157.50. So let's take a look at what we're going to keep here, guys. Right now, we'll start with FedEx, definitely on our list. Very, very strong this morning, up now 12.3, being fueled even further by the SPY heading higher. BYD also up nicely 10% right now, so we'll keep an eye on this one. Here is United. United's just taken off. I mean, this thing was sitting at 34 early this morning. They had their own news. Another one just like FedEx that they had his own catalyst, and you can see here it's just ripping higher with the SPY fueling even it further. SPCE, I'm on the fence on this one. Not sure if we're going to keep this one, but we'll do some levels for it. I do like the breakout on the daily here. We got some room to run, but this thing has been very choppy. They had some good news yesterday, had a nice big pop towards the close. I want to see there's some continuation happening here today. American Airlines, same as United, will probably keep one or the two. For me, we'll probably move one down to a possible. INO continues to drop, and this is good. Do we have shorts for INO? Yes, we do. So that's a good thing here. They're losing this area. I think we can get some good opportunities there. WKHS, I'm going to remove, guys. I think this one could just chop around today, trying to find some kind of base, some kind of direction. But it could be a great possible. So, oops, I meant to add, not delete. So it could be a great possible. So I'm going to, oops, wrong one. Down here, new, there we go. Move it down here, WKHS. We'll keep it as a possible for the most part. Delete it from our main list up here. BA also going red to green this morning nicely here. PFE actually causing this movement this morning, and Macy's still not doing much. They go green here, but not by much. I'm going to remove it, guys. I think Macy's just so choppy. As the possibles list, just to go through it, DKNG is good. Plug is a decent. GIS still not doing much. Let's get rid of that one. Let's look at YRCW. This one giving some back here. We don't have shares for short on this one. I'm going to remove it even as a possible. I don't think it's a great stock to watch at the moment. I think we're going to have a lot of other stocks to watch. And also with the SPY moving like this, it can create some opportunities on stocks like the airlines and the cruise lines, right? Could create some momentum plays there. You can catch some good stuff happening there. So let's start with FedEx this morning, guys. High of our pre-market. I'm going to mark down this level here in our pre-market. It's not the high, but it's 156.80. And the reason for this is we tested this several times. This is my 5-minute chart here. You can see how many times we tested that this morning. Once we broke out of that, it kind of became support just for a little bit here. Now we're ripping higher. 157.80 is our high, so we'll mark that down. But you want to have this level here, depending how the stock trades. If it comes back down here, that could be a good area of support. Towards the bottom, we do have your low of your pre-market all the way at 152.90. Towards the bottom, this 151. I'm going to move this down. Let's just upgrade this over to 150 or update 150. 152, 150.11 will be a great area. Very obviously good resistance here and right back down. Then towards the bottom of that, you really have some other levels on here that are pretty good. 145. I don't think we'll be heading in that direction, which with how strong this stock is today. Now let's take a look at this 157 where we're kind of stalling now. If we go back into February before COVID, you can see here that is a great area of support, right? So we did very nice in that area. The top of that consolidation is 161, and then obviously all the way up here you have another great area at 165. So plenty of levels on FedEx here. This is a stock obviously very strong, up nicely on earnings last night. Hopefully we can get some good continuation or a possible drop here, right? It's pretty extended. We could be seeing some profit taken here. It can go either way. Hopefully we'll be in for a good move on that one. BYD high of the pre-market right now sitting at 148.78. So let's mark that down towards the top. Pretty choppy in this area. Obviously clear level is this one here, 163.11. You got several days on here testing that. You got some wicks that came above that, but this is more important to me here where the wicks are being rejected. Towards the bottom here you do have one level here, 156.10, and I like this one because you have several days opening and closing right at that level. And you can see several wicks also hitting that 156.10. So aside from that, very difficult to find levels when you have such choppy daily on here. Towards the bottom, you do have a great support right on here, several days bouncing off of that. If you look back before that, a great resistance, a couple of days, almost this whole, what's this, 10 trading days, cannot get above this 140.77. Most of them hitting it right to the T and coming back down. So definitely want to have that on there in case we decide to drop down this morning on BYD. Here's United. All right, so we have a nice little rejection here at 37.70 high of the pre-market. Let's see if that's going to stick or if we're going to drop down. Above that, that's being supported here also by the daily, guys. Look at the daily going back. You see a couple of days opening, closing right at that level, 37.70. Above that, you do have another great level here, 39.75. Couple of days using that as resistance. You got a couple of them using it as support, but for the most part, a great area of resistance at that 39.75. Towards the bottom, plenty of levels, guys. Highs and lows from your last two trading days, previous day close, got you covered. So let's look at SPCE. This one's still not looking all that interesting. Traded very well yesterday though, so maybe we'll move it down as a possible if we can get some kind of continuation today of what it did yesterday. High of the pre-market sitting right at 17. Above that, we do have 17.32, and then slightly over here around 17.72 we have another level as well. So towards the bottom, you can mark down the low of the pre-market, and then you also have the highs and lows from the last two trading days and your previous day close. But let's move this down, guys. Let's bring this down over here to our possibles list, right? Some stuff we can check later on after the morning open. Also, if you have your main list and something is not moving too well, you can flip-flop between one of the ones that you have in your possibles list that might be looking a little bit better. Here, American Airlines high of our pre-market 13.68. Also very close to the top of this consolidation, right? So the price action getting below this consolidation area, which is sitting right around 1350. So that's a very important level for this stock. Let's see if we can stay above that, or we're going to get some rejections here. Towards the bottom, the highs and lows from the last two trading days. You also have the bottom of this consolidation over the last couple of days, which is around 12. So you have that mark there for you. If we are going to take off today here on American Airlines, we do have 14.37, a great level. Another one over here around 15.08 as well. Several days opening, closing, and bouncing off of that. INO, guys, INO is just on a tear towards the downside here. Low of the pre-market now being set at 22.71. So let's throw that on there. Below that, we do have another great level at 20.67. It's looking very weak right now, but be careful with this stock because we've seen this before from INO where it starts like this and you have a huge rip up. Usually the sell-off is coming at the market open. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen at the market open here. Are we going to sell off, or are we going to continue on this downtrend? But for the most part, looking pretty good on INO. Towards the top, plenty of levels, guys. Highs and lows and previous day got you covered there. BA ripping here nicely. Did go red to green this morning. We're still stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days right on here. So again, you're pretty set on levels when it comes to that. You can mark down your high of your pre-markets just to have it there, but for the most part, this 188.50. That's the main level you want to keep an eye on, which has been the high from yesterday. Also, if you go back, you can see how much resistance and support that level has seen. So we're pretty much good on BA there. PFE obviously ripping nicely here. We had some levels from before, looks like here. Let's see if they make sense now. Let's go back on our daily. 33.80, still good level, guys. Look at this, the resistance happening here below that previous day close and highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. This 34, I'm assuming was probably this right here, so we'll move that up. 34.94, very close to the high of our pre-market now, so we'll keep that there. 35.50 still looks great, and 36.50 still looks perfect. So again, good levels there on your daily from previously, so we're good to go there. I think we have a good list, guys. 9:16, so 14 minutes to the market open. Brian and Thor are going to take us through the open today. As Norm mentioned before, Andrew will not be trading. Trade well, guys. Trade safe. Remember, this is a short week, so tomorrow will be the last day. Thursday, let's get together at 8:30, finish the week strong, and start the month strong, right? Brand new month.
For sure.
July. So I saw a lot of the trades from a lot of the members. You guys had an amazing June. We all did very well, so hopefully that can continue on to this month, guys. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow 8:30 Eastern time.
Happy Canada Day. Take care. Trade safe. See you tomorrow morning.